Welcome back to What's the Matter, Coach?
3 questions for you. What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with the world?
And what is matter really? Hope you're ready to start manipulating matter. I am.
Woo.
Welcome back. So today's video is essentially the crown violet ray center of faith, center of God, right? And so this energy center has all to do with finally arriving at that state that we all are seeking, which is just knowing ourselves, and in other words, enlightenment, to finally be found here in this reality as your true self. Finally being able to walk as one with creation, one with God, one with Source, one with the universe. So many ways to understand this. So today what we're going to do is that Chris is going to talk about the experience and path of having no faith, and then recognizing that you've had it all along within you, and all you had to do was connect once again. Because it's not that God left your side or the universe left your side, but that you left yourself through lack of belief.
Yes.
And then Omar over here is also going to talk about the path of believing before you see. This is the path of faith. And eventually, when we arrive to the point through this faith, we embody our soul's purpose, and we recognize that there's a greater meaning to life. And that by surrendering the will of our personalities, we then open up our crown, right? The energy center that's located right above the head, to God, to Source, and to the universe. So Crystal, let's begin with you.
Okay, so before, I would say like 3 years ago, I didn't have faith at all. It was to the point that I called my mom and I was talking to my mom. I say, I don't believe in God. I just believe in myself, and like without like.
Whoa.
And I was really angry with life. I was really angry with a lot of people that were surrounding me. I blame a lot of people for my own misery. And life teach me better. I had to go through a lot of experience for my own self, so I can arrive to the place that I have faith. And it wasn't until, I want to say 3 days ago, that I was cleaning. I was cleaning a house, and I was like, God, what is happening? Like I know that I'm aware that this is the path that I want to, that this is the path that this is what I wanted to teach. I want to teach your truth. And until that day, I understood that I have to surrender all myself and have faith. And yes, is
So essentially the whole entire time, you've been blaming others or finding excuses for yourself,
yes,
instead of surrendering to divine guidance.
Because I didn't want to trust. And
so we make it harder for ourselves.
It make it harder for ourselves. Yes. So,
well, I mean, what we can learn from this here is that we choose to disconnect. Not because you have to disconnect, but because you lose your faith, which is, in other words, your belief in yourself. Why do I say yourself? Well, because to lose belief in yourself is to lose belief of why you were even created. You see, to think that you're not special in regards to you being created for a special reason, then why are you here? You see, a lot of the times we turn atheists, right, for
yes,
a temporary period, because we choose to lose that faith. We let go. We say, all right, well, I trusted for a couple of years and it didn't work out to
yes,
my favor,
how
right?
How
I wanted. But who's the
yes,
I? You see, the I is your mind. Your mind constantly telling you what you think you should do. But what if the realms of creation, of Source, of the universe were a little bit more profound? And maybe that you've been living a surface experience instead of the deeper experience that is the true experience, or the truer experience of life.
And one of the things that I would like to mention that I understood once I asked this question, that I want to teach your truth, that it was that you really want it from your heart. Like you really want to know who you are. And from there, Once you
desire.
Intense desire to know, to know truth.
But think about it. How many? Just to let you guys know, how many years has it been? Right? Where's that Jesus? Where's that Buddha? The thing is that there's many masters, there's many beings walking this earth at this time with a deep connection to God's source in the universe. Why can't you be one of them? Why do you have to be disconnected while there are others connecting themselves back to their motherboard, so to speak? You don't have to be lost. And it's through literally having this intense desire, we build that connection with source. There's many people that walk their lives and they ask for and they receive the answer that they're looking for. Why give up on yourself? Do you love yourself enough to not give up to the fact that you deserve to walk with that which created you? Oh yeah, it's on. You've been challenged. But it doesn't have to be a challenge of obstacles, just a choice.
Just a choice.
What are you currently choosing right now? You see, coming from the place of your heart, which is loving yourself fully. I can say that we all agree here that by loving ourselves that much as a being, we feel that we deserve to walk this path of truth. Not our individual truths and speaking just our individual truth, no. We are worthy of a greater truth, which is the truth of the universe.
The truth that connects us all.
The truth that connects us all. So Omar, let's talk a little bit about, you having faith, for your whole life, even though things, let's say, didn't go your way, right? You always came back to faith. You always came back to believing before you saw.
Yeah, I want to say that that's really important to believe before you actually see. A lot of people say, oh, I have to see it in order to believe it. But, once you have that level of faith, you open up yourself to the divine. What better guidance is there when you see no results? Your expectations are gone. That's where the real faith comes in. That sheer faith in yourself that no matter what happens, somehow the universe is going to play in my favor.
Let's talk a little bit about what it feels like to be guided by the universe when you open up to source and the divine. How does it feel like to be guided by that instead of what your parents say, what your friends say, or what society says? It's something miraculous, right? Because the thing is that we think that living this life has to be purely based on physicality, but in reality, our true nature is so magical and miraculous, and it's infinite. It's a creation, so there's infinite potential and possibilities. So, you want to tell them a little bit of how that feels, being guided by that power instead of,
Yeah. It's sort of like you don't know the end result, but you're being guided by your belief.
It's trust in the unknown.
Yeah, that's perfect.
A lot of the mind lies certainty, and that is something that it doesn't get you anywhere. And tell you from experience, from not believing in nothing to now believing in myself and believing in that greater power that created all of us, that there's many ways to explain this. If you don't want to see it, it's because you don't want to know the truth, or you just want to know what is convenient for you.
Yep. And imagine, what if, beyond your certainty of how your life should be, as soon as you let go of that certainty, imagine a miraculous cause happening in your favor. This is essentially what we mean by having faith, by believing before you see the evidence.
When things don't look certain, anything is possible.
That right there says it all. Okay, and you might hear this in other videos, but I'll remind you here in this one that a lot of the times when we're trying to manifest something, when we're trying to bring forth our dream life into reality, do you think that we all don't have a common denominator? We do. And the common denominator is that a lot of the times when we're about to reach our goals, everything looks uncertain. Now why? Because maybe creation and the universe and source is challenging you, is trying you, is testing you to see, are you faithful? Are you believing in the way? Are you believing that this will happen? Or will you leave your faith, leave your belief in yourself?
Yes.
Will you make it? A lot of people have. And if you check out all these people that have made it from 0 to 100 in success, for example, they kept on going. They overcame the obstacles when things looked completely terrible in their lives. They still believe, and guess what? They're victorious in the end.
They never give up.
They never give up. So I want to talk a little bit about the spiritual, right? The spiritual aspect of having faith, this energy center, the violet ray. Well, again, it's the essence of God, source, divinity. So this violet energy, right? A lot of the times there's this healing, this metaphysical healing called the violet flame. So a little practice that you can try is visualizing yourself in a fire, a ball of fire, the color of violet. And this will purify you because why? It's symbolic of the divine. What's purer than that? So if you're clogged up and dirty within your daily lives, imagine yourself in a ball of fire. Cleanse yourself from all those lower energies so you can be purified by those higher vibrations, right? Those higher forms of energy. A lot of the times this crown chakra is depicted by a halo, okay, in many religions, because this is to symbolize enlightenment. This is to symbolize a life led by faith, a life led by the divine. Not trusting what you see on the outside appearances, but the internal appearance, which is you seeing your true self, which is your connection to Source and God. And by walking your life like that, you walk with the power of the universe by your side, so therefore you're creating along with it. Yes, you're creating with the power of creation itself instead of creating with the power of the mind, with the power of people.
You become an alchemist. Anything that is thrown your way, you throw it back at it towards your favor.
And I would like to mention sometimes when we like to put our faith in hands of others. And I'm speaking about, for example, when someone is really sick and they go to the doctor and the doctor said, oh, yes, you have this. It's okay. That's what you think about me or what you think about that I have. But there's plenty cases of people that they have chose the holistic way of healing and they have made it. They have made it because they believe that they can self-heal themselves. They have faith. And they don't go to bound of what the doctor say to me. That's having faith in yourself.
And it could have been a longer healing process, you know.
But at the end of the day, it's worth it.
It's worth it. And also, you know, in regards to consciousness, you know, finding out what's the matter with you, well, what's the matter with the world? Right there, that answers your question, because we see right now that we live in a world of disconnection. A lot of people are walking through different cultures, okay? But you see God, Source, universe is beyond culture. Before culture came, God was still here, okay? Guiding us. So this higher power that we want to bring forth, this godliness, is within us. Will you surrender to the will of God instead of the will of your person? Well, maybe you'll see some magic if you attempt that, if you try that, if you surrender to it. But this is the path. And this is your choice to be on this path of unleashing your godliness, which is also known as activating your soul.
Yes.
So you can walk with the consciousness as well. Because just because you walk with faith does not mean you walk with the consciousness of the Creator.
Yes.
Okay? You all have the Creator within you. God speaks to every single one of you. But, I want to hear God from my meditation. I want to hear God from my prayer. Well, what if God has different ways of speaking? You see, God is everywhere. Omnipresent. You might have heard this. And this is where expectations come in. Maybe life is your tarot card. Maybe life is God speaking to you.
Reality.
Reality. This is the deeper notion of life. This is what it means to recognize your crown. To open your crown, to expand this energy center, means to expand your horizons so that you allow the spirit, which is the flow of Source, to flow through you. So that now you are a channel for all that is. And that you're no longer bound by just one physical container that we call a body with a name. We are one with all, and all is one. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. For the faith, right? 3 believers, the Trinity, right? And we hope you receive this message in peace and love, and in the name of infinity. Let's evolve.
Let's evolve.
Bye-bye.
Bye.